The only thing standing in the way between you and your brand new dream job is negotiating the job offer. Don't worry, in this video, I'm gonna give you the 7 steps that you need to take in order to successfully negotiate your job offer. Hello and welcome back to my channel where I help you slay your career and cultivate the successful life you deserve. There are fewer things in your career journey that are going to strike fear and anxiety and just a desire to go and hide on the couch with a pint of Haagen-Dazs that salary negotiation strikes into most reasonable people. However, it doesn't have to be like that. Negotiating a job offer is a very necessary aspect of getting a new opportunity. And it doesn't have to be bad, it doesn't have to feel dirty, you don't have to feel like you need to take a shower once you're done. All you need to do is negotiate your salary and the job offer from an authentic place using the 7 steps that I'm going to lay out for you. So without further ado, if you're ready to learn how to negotiate the offer and get the salary and the opportunity of your dreams, click that like button and let's jump right into it. The first thing you need to do is extraordinarily obvious. However, the vast majority of articles and blogs and videos out there actually don't mention it. And that is, you need to confirm that this is a job offer that you actually want to take. Now, do you want to change some things about it? Probably that's why you're here. You're negotiating the offer. However, once those things are aligned, is this an opportunity that you're going to say yes to? Even then, if you can't adjust the things that you are going to try to adjust in this process, are you going to say yes, or are these deal breakers? Are these things that you're going to walk away from the offer and the opportunity over? Knowing that at the outset is going to help you understand what your decision is as you move through. It's very easy for this to become emotional and for it to feel very personal. However, the clearer you are on the fact that you want the opportunity and that you're in fact eager to make this opportunity work out, is going to bring you a long way. It's also important for your potential employer to know how excited and eager you are to get this offer into a state that you are super excited to say yes to it. This includes things like telling them how excited you are. I know, I'm a genius. There's no need to thank me for this. Even from a deep subconscious and energetic level, the more that you actually want to get to a place that you can say yes to the opportunity, the more the person that you are negotiating with is going to want to get you there as well, and they're going to move mountains to make it happen. And that leads directly into step 2, which is to negotiate from the same side of the table. This is easily the biggest mistake that professionals make when they're negotiating their salary. They make it a me versus you. They want to compete. I have this offer doing X, I want you to do Y for me. That's not how you're gonna win. Maybe you're gonna be successful in the negotiation, but if you're sitting across the table from that person, it's gonna be really hard for you to get onto the same side again when you're working on the same team. If you are joining a big company, there's a very good chance that you're going to be negotiating with a recruiter and that you are going to be distanced from your actual hiring manager. However, that doesn't totally insulate the fact that a ruthless negotiation, which is very much pitted against you versus them, is going to create tension. Let's just call it that. That's the only thing that I can really think of to describe it properly. And that energy is going to follow you into the role. Plus, if you're negotiating from the same side of the table, you're actually coming at it from their perspective. You're building the case for them of why they need to give you more money, more time off, more benefits, whatever it is that you're actually trying to achieve through the negotiation. It's putting you onto the same team before you're officially a team member. Now, before you walk into it, the 3rd step is very important, and that is to remember that this isn't personal. I know when you're negotiating your salary, your compensation, the money going into your bank account, it's very easy for it to feel personal. And I mean, how many times have you heard or have you even said, you need to be paid what you're worth? I know this is something that I'm totally guilty of saying, and I say it still sometimes because it is something that does resonate and it is a way to get the point across. However, in reality, you, my friend, are absolutely priceless. They can give you $1 million a year and they would still totally not reflect your value as a human being. Valuing you is not possible. No company can actually meet that obligation. What you are appraising through the salary negotiation process and through the job offer negotiation process is actually finding the intersect of your skills and experience, what you're bringing to the table, and what exactly they need. You're appraising from this point in the middle where the two meet. If you're negotiating over here, over here, over here, over here, it's not generating a win-win situation. And that's going to kind of miss the point. The more that you can understand the fact that the company isn't making an offer based on you and your value, and that you're not fighting for your personal value, it's just simply a business transaction. And in reality, if the offer can't get to what you actually need it to be in a way that you think reflects the value that you're bringing into the organization, that's totally fine because it's an offer and you are actually not in fact required to accept it. Also on this point, another mistake that I see made that I want to make sure you're not going to make, and I want you to walk into this fully prepared to not bring up these things, is I have heard in negotiations where people have made the defense of they have living expenses, their rent is X, their mortgage is Y, they need to do these things, they like to have all of this disposable income, and your personal financial requirements actually have nothing to do with the company. This is a really important differentiation, and this is actually true if you're negotiating a job offer and if you're negotiating an increase at any point in your career journey. Your personal requirements are actually not going to be the driver in any way to have the company give you what you're asking for. The driver to give you what you're asking for is going to be the market value, which brings me directly into step 4 of knowing exactly what you're going to ask for, what you're worth, and you need to be ready with receipts, my friend. If you're following my advice, if you've subscribed to my channel, you already know that you need to begin any salary discussion with knowing what your numbers are. If you don't already know that and you need to deep dive, I highly recommend checking out my free masterclass. I'm going to link it in the comments down below. You absolutely need to take this to make sure that whatever you're negotiating for is a reasonable number. If you're asking for something that is completely disconnected from what the market is going to pay for your skills, for example, if the average salary for what you do is $80,000, but you walk in and you demand $200,000 for no apparent reason other than you feel like making $200,000, or you read about someone online who is making $200,000, that's not going to be the justification. You need to do real research, and there's multiple places that you can do that. Again, I'm going to cover it all in the masterclass, which I definitely recommend you check out. You're going to actually do that research, and that's going to give you the receipts that you need to go to them and actually make the argument. In fact, the more that you actually know about compensation for your role in your area and your expertise and the unique skill set that you bring to the table, the more you're actually going to be able to educate them potentially in terms of what compensation really is going to look like for them to get the person into the role that they actually need to fill it. And fingers crossed, that's still going to be you. Next, you absolutely have to be confident. If you're not confident in what you're asking for, that's going to show up for whoever you're actually negotiating with. I have had clients who have been extraordinarily confident. They've asked for the top end of market rates and they've been given them. They've been thrown the money with little to no resistance just because of the confidence that they had and the fact that they were going to create such dramatic results that it was well worth the investment of the company into them. Next, you need to know the negotiation style of the person that you're working with. We all have different personalities and different spectrums. Some people like to generate a win-lose situation where they win and you lose. These are going to be the most difficult people for you to negotiate with. However, there's also going to be people who want a lose-lose situation, a win-win, or they're okay giving up so that you can actually win. Knowing the personality of the person that you're going to work with, how easy it is to get onto the same side of the table, and really what their goal is through the negotiation is going to help stage you for success in the conversation to get exactly what you want. And finally, you need to know what you're going to do if the negotiation isn't successful. I recently worked with someone who had made a salary request, which was quite honestly completely unreasonable. It was bold, it was daft, and I'm so proud of her for asking for it, but it really wasn't a reasonable request. However, she still got the job offer and it was at the very top end of the market. Like the offer that they actually made her was extraordinary. That said, she still went for it. She still tried to negotiate for more. And again, I completely commend her because you never know unless you ask. Now, what ended up happening, because they did make her their best and their final offer, and they were very candid with her as she embarked into the conversation, how they actually had calibrated her, where they actually saw her fitting in terms of what the market was paying. and the fact that they had made her the last and final offer. However, it was the due diligence of doing these things that allowed her to accept the offer with the utmost confidence, knowing that she was getting very fair compensation and she was going to be very well valued by the new company that she was joining. However, on the flip side, if the company sincerely cannot match in their budget what your requirements are for a salary. And your requirements for salary hopefully are guided by market, but let's face it, there are personal considerations that you need to take. There may be reasons why you need to make sure that you're at a certain level. That's totally cool. I'm not saying it's not relevant. What I'm saying is it's not relevant in the negotiation. It's relevant in your decision on whether or not you are going to accept the offer when the dust settles. There will be opportunities in your life that you're just going to say yes to. It's a dream company, it's an incredible opportunity, it's something that's going to look amazing on your resume. Those might be things that you're going to say yes to, even if the salary isn't quite where you want it to be. However, in general, what you want to make sure is that if it can't get to where you actually need to be and you have the freedom of declining, that you do have the opportunity to walk away. And just because it's the best that a company can do, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the right opportunity or that it's something that you can take. Now, this option is what I also call the nuclear option. It can be an extraordinarily effective negotiation tactic. In fact, I've used this myself on multiple occasions with dramatic results. However, the really important caution that I need to tell you about this is you need to be committed. Your answer actually needs to be no when you say this. If you say no, if you decline an offer because the negotiation hasn't gotten you to where you actually need to be, they're not necessarily going to come back to you. In most cases, they're not going to come back. However, certain personality types, certain situations, this can be something that actually turns it into your favor. Either way that it turns out, when you get to the point where you decline an offer because it's not at a point where you can say yes to it, based on the criteria that you set ahead of time, you need to be willing to decline. You need to be willing to walk away and trust the universe is going to bring you another opportunity. I know when you're looking for a new opportunity, it's likely because you need to make a move, or maybe you're in between roles and it might not be a luxury for you to be able to say no. But when it is an option, do exercise it and know that there is more out there. And with that, I would actually love to know, have you ever declined a job offer? What happened next when you did? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, with these 7 steps, you are going to be so ready and so confident heading into your job offer negotiation. And keep me posted on how it goes. What might happen once you have negotiated your offer and hopefully accepted the job offer is when you put a notice with your employer, you might get a counter offer. After all, you're here because you're an ambitious professional and you're a top performer, and I know that your company is going to want to keep you there. And I bet you're wondering if you should actually consider a counter offer if you receive one. Well, if that is something that is on your mind, you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, because that's going to be the video that I upload next. So again, make sure you subscribe. Don't want to miss it. Got a lot of thoughts on this one, and it's not going to be what you expect. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Not only does it help my channel, it just lets me know that you like content like this so that I can make more of it for you. Thank you so much for being unapologetically ambitious, for taking this time to invest in yourself, your professional growth, and making this leap to negotiate your job offer. Of course, thank you as well for watching this video. That's everything for this one. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.